All right, so you want to talk about automotive design.
Sounds like it.
You came to the right place.
Definitely.
It looks like you've been hitting the books,
Yeah.
or should I say the apps,
Uh-huh.
with all this info from RoleCatcher,
They're a good source.
career guides,
Mm-hmm.
interview prep,
Yeah.
even AI tools someone's dreaming big.
And they should be. This isn't your grandpa's auto industry anymore.
Really?
It's booming right now.
Wow.
And the technology,
Yeah.
let's just say, get ready for a wild ride.
Okay, so we're not just talking about sketching on a drawing board all day.
Not anymore.
This RoleCatcher guide makes it sound way more high-tech than I imagined.
Think about it.
What?
Someone has to design the interface for a self-driving car.
Oh, right.
That sleek dashboard,
Yeah.
the way you interact with the car,
Uh-huh.
that's all automotive design.
I never thought about that.
And don't even get me started on how they seamlessly integrate all those sensors into the car's body.
Oh.
These folks are practically shaping the future of transportation.
Wow. That's a lot to think about.
It is.
The guide also mentioned something about working closely with computer hardware engineers.
Right.
Now I'm picturing intense brainstorming sessions with engineers in lab coats.
That's not far off.
Really?
Automotive designers are the bridge between those awesome design ideas and what's actually possible.
So they need to speak both languages.
Yes. You've got to have that creative vision, but also understand the tech behind it.
I see.
They even factor in things like ergonomics,
Ergonomics.
how comfortable it is to use all those cool features,
Right.
and of course, safety is paramount.
It's like a high-stakes puzzle,
It is.
blending art and engineering.
The best of both worlds.
What's fascinating is that the guide emphasizes constant learning.
It's true.
This field seems to be changing every minute.
Every second.
What does that look like for a working automotive designer?
This industry is all about staying ahead of the curve.
Okay.
Imagine you're designing a dashboard display. Then, bam! New technology emerges.
Wow.
Flexible screens,
Yeah.
holographic projections.
Yeah.
Who knows what's next?
It's true.
You need to be ready to adapt, learn those new software programs, and incorporate them into your designs.
It's fast-paced.
It's a wild ride, but it keeps things exciting.
Talk about a career that keeps you on your toes. And RoleCatcher actually breaks down the career path.
They do.
From junior designer all the way up to lead designer, managing a whole team.
Right.
That's pretty incredible.
It's a good career path.
I know. What really stood out to me were those example profiles for each career stage.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't just generic descriptions.
I know what you mean.
They highlighted specific skills and experience needed to progress.
They're very thorough.
You could really get a sense of what your day-to-day might look like as you climb the ladder.
That's good. They provide that.
Okay, so there's the glamour of shaping the future.
Right.
But the guide also mentions some serious challenges.
It's not all fun and games.
Long hours. Definitely.
Intense pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Fierce competition.
It's a tough field.
Is this a career path for the faint of heart?
Honestly.
Yeah,
It's demanding, no doubt about it.
I bet.
Tight deadlines and a competitive job market are just part of the deal.
I see.
But here's the thing.
What?
If you're truly passionate about this field,
Yeah.
the rewards can be incredible.
So let's say someone listening is hooked.
Okay.
They're ready to embrace the chaos and design the next big thing.
All right.
The RoleCatcher guide even has this whole section on interview prep
Oh, wow.
with AI-powered tools to analyze your responses.
Seriously.
AI for interview prep. What will they think of next?
It sounds futuristic,
It does.
but it's incredibly smart.
I guess so.
Imagine practicing your answers to common interview questions and then getting instant feedback from an AI
Wow.
on your delivery, your content, even your body language. That's exactly what these tools can do.
That's wild.
It is.
That's like having a personal interview coach available 24/7.
But beyond all the fancy tools,
Yeah.
I'm curious about the actual skills needed.
Let's talk about that.
So you were just talking about the skills you need to succeed. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got to have an artistic eye,
Definitely.
but also this deep understanding of technology. It's a pretty unique combination.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it goes beyond just the hard skills.
What do you mean?
Like knowing your design software inside and out.
Okay.
RoleCatcher actually highlights things like critical thinking
Uh-huh.
and complex problem solving as essential abilities.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You can't just design something that looks cool.
Right.
It's got to actually work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Remember those self-driving car interfaces we were talking about? Imagine a designer who doesn't consider how distracting a flashy display could be for the driver.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be good.
That's a recipe for disaster.
Totally.
It's about understanding the user experience,
Oh, okay.
anticipating potential problems,
Right.
and coming up with elegant solutions that are both functional and safe.
Like they say,
Well,
form follows function.
yeah.
Speaking of which, the guide also gets into the educational side of things. And wow, there's a lot of variety.
There is.
They suggest degrees in industrial design,
Okay.
mechanical engineering,
Right.
even things like ergonomics and human factors engineering.
It really runs the gamut.
That's what makes this field so cool.
It is a cool field.
There's no one-size-fits-all path.
I like that.
You could be a gearhead who loves tinkering with engines,
Yeah.
or an artist who's fascinated by form and function.
Right.
The key is finding that sweet spot where your skills and passions intersect with the needs of the industry.
That's a good point.
That's a great way to look at it. So it seems like there are a lot of different ways to break into this field.
For sure.
But with all these technological advancements happening,
Yeah.
is there even going to be a demand for automotive designers in the future?
That's a good question.
Because, like,
Go on.
will they even need designers?
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
In fact, it's quite the opposite.
Interesting.
Think about it.
Okay.
We're on the cusp of a massive transportation revolution.
That's true.
Electric vehicles, autonomous driving,
Yeah.
connected cars.
Mm-hmm.
All of this requires a new breed of designer.
I see what you're saying.
Someone who can not only design a beautiful car, but also navigate the complexities of these new technologies.
So you're saying that rather than replacing designers, technology is actually creating more opportunities.
Precisely.
Wow.
And these aren't just incremental changes.
What do you mean?
We're talking about a fundamental shift in how we think about cars and transportation.
I like it.
The cars of the future won't just get us from point A to point B.
Right.
They'll be personalized experiences,
Yeah.
seamlessly integrated with our digital lives.
That's crazy.
I know, right?
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is a lot to think about.
So if you were to pinpoint the biggest misconception people have about this field,
Okay,
what would it be?
that's easy. So many people still picture automotive designers sketching by hand all day,
Oh, yeah.
focused solely on aesthetics.
I can see that.
And while sketching is definitely part of it,
Right.
today's designers are using incredibly sophisticated 3D modeling software,
Oh, wow.
collaborating with engineers on simulations,
Yeah.
and even considering the environmental impact of their material choices.
It's so much more than just making a car look cool.
It is much more than that,
Although I'm sure that's still a big part of the appeal.
of course.
Speaking of design elements, I did notice the RoleCatcher guide mentioned something called isometric drawings.
Right.
Now, I'm not a designer, so I have to ask,
Go ahead.
what exactly are those?
Great question.
Thanks.
Isometric drawings are a specific type of technical drawing that shows a three-dimensional object in a two-dimensional format.
Okay, so why are they important for car design specifically?
They're crucial for communication.
How so?
Imagine trying to explain a complex curve of a car's body or the layout of a dashboard to an engineer or manufacturer.
Right. It's tough to just describe that.
An isometric drawing lets everyone see the design from the same perspective,
Oh, that makes sense.
ensuring accuracy and eliminating any guesswork during the manufacturing process.
It's like the blueprint that bridges the gap between the designer's vision and the final product.
Exactly.
And speaking of bridging the gap,
Okay.
let's talk about the different specializations within the field of automotive design.
Sounds good.
Because it's not just about designing the exterior of the car.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about the user interface for infotainment systems,
Yeah,
the layout of the dashboard, even things like heads-up displays.
that's right.
It sounds like there's a lot of room for specialization and really honing your skills in a particular niche.
Absolutely. And having that specialized knowledge can make you incredibly valuable in a competitive job market.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. The evolving role of the automotive designer, the impact of technology,
Right.
the importance of continuous learning.
It's a lot to think about.
Where do we even go from here?
Well, if someone listening is serious about pursuing this career path,
Yeah.
I think the next step is getting practical.
Let's talk about that. What are some tangible steps someone can take to make their automotive design dreams a reality? So someone's listening to this,
Yeah.
heart pounding, thinking, this is IT. I want to design the cars of the future.
I hope so.
What's step one?
RoleCatcher's got their back.
Okay.
They have a whole section on getting started,
Uh-huh.
and honestly, it's gold.
Really? What do they say?
They stress hands-on experience,
Okay.
even while you're still in school.
Like what?
Internships at design studios.
Yeah. Makes
Huge.
sense.
Co-op programs at actual manufacturers.
Oh, wow.
Even bigger.
To really get your foot in the door.
Exactly.
It's a competitive field, right?
Very.
So you've got to stand out.
You do.
And speaking of standing out, the guide mentions portfolios a lot. It's like you can't just say you're a great designer.
Yep.
You've got to prove it.
Show, don't tell.
Exactly.
You got to show them what you can do.
So, like, what should be in this portfolio?
Think of your portfolio like your design highlight reel.
Okay.
Those killer 2D sketches.
Yeah.
Your best 3D models.
Right.
Those isometric drawings we talked about. Definitely include those.
Okay.
But don't just show the final product.
Oh, interesting.
Include some of your thought process.
Okay.
Early sketches, design iterations. Anything that shows how you approach a problem.
So it's not just about showing off your artistic skills.
Yep.
It's about you can think like a designer.
Exactly.
I like it.
And remember,
What's that?
tailor your portfolio to each job you apply for.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. A portfolio that screams electric sports car isn't going to resonate with a company known for their family SUVs.
That makes sense.
You've got to speak their language.
Yeah.
Show them you understand their brand.
Absolutely. Research is key.
It is.
Okay.
So you've got the skills, the experience, the portfolio that pops. Now it's time to nail that interview.
The moment of truth.
And this is where RoleCatcher really blew my mind.
Really? Let's hear it.
They have this whole section on interview prep,
Okay.
complete with AI-powered tools that analyze your responses.
We touched on this earlier.
We did.
But I have to hear more about these AI tools.
Pretty cool.
So what do? Imagine recording yourself answering common interview questions.
Okay.
And then getting instant feedback from an AI
Oh, what?
on everything.
Wow.
From your delivery to your body language.
Really?
That's exactly what these tools can do.
No way.
They can even compare your performance to successful candidates in the field.
Wow. Talk about next level prep.
Right.
So it's like having a personal coach analyzing your every word and gesture.
Exactly. It might feel a little strange at first.
I bet. But think of all the insights you can gain.
That's true.
Are you using too many filler words? Is your posture conveying confidence? The AI picks up on all those subtle cues and gives you targeted feedback so you can put your best foot forward.
That's incredible.
It is really something.
It's like having a secret weapon for your job search.
That's a good way to put it.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of automotive design, what's the one takeaway you want to leave our listeners with today?
If you're passionate about cars, fascinated by technology, and you thrive on constantly learning and pushing boundaries,
Okay.
this could be your dream career.
I love it.
But remember, it's not just about designing a beautiful exterior anymore.
Right.
It's about shaping the entire experience.
I like it.
From the feel of the steering wheel to the way the car interacts with the world around it.
Yeah, it's more holistic now.
The future of transportation is being shaped right now.
Yeah.
And as an automotive designer, you could be in the driver's seat.
I love that analogy. Well said. And who knows, maybe one day we'll be cruising around in a car designed by one of our listeners.
That would be awesome.
Thanks for joining us on this exciting deep dive into the world of automotive design.
My pleasure. It's a fascinating field, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.